everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Talking About Attack. Now, before this episode starts, same as last episode, spoilers for Attack on Titan, all the seasons, season 1 to season 4. What the reason there wasn't a episode last week is because what we decided was last week's episode didn't have a lot of context to any of the shit that was actually happening. So we waited till this week's episode to make sort of a joint episode. We're going to start from episode 10, which was
Yes, episode 10.
last week's episode.
last week's. And this episode opened up with, it was Hanji and Eren in the cell. Well,
Having a
Hanji
bit of a
talking to
chat.
Eren in the cell. Having a bit of a talk.
So the thing, he uses which was apparently a highlighted point was the fact he would say fight.
Yeah.
Now,
Tatakai.
Hanji inferred from what the number of times he said it twice, which meant round 2. Which means he knows round 2 is quickly approaching. Whatever that means.
Well, I reckon
she also blatantly called him out, just saying, "You sound like a psychopath, mate." Like, you're saying fight.
That's because he
fucking is, mate.
Yeah.
Guy's off the rocker.
Yeah.
He's murdered like thousands of people.
Yeah.
I would put it in the 10, if not hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
This guy's killed a lot of people in his time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go on, Sam. What
I reckon this double fight thing is to do with this little plan that Eren and Zeke have going on that no one else really knows about at the moment. Because they have their own little thing going on from when they were in Mali, I believe, where they were like talking and going like planning. So I reckon there's something else happening. Speaking of transportation, the people of Hizoru then come around. They roll around up to the island because they want to come and like look at the resources in because we established the earlier episode that they were going to come and they were going to I think what's it called? What's it called? The name of the stone thing, like the precious resource on the island.
Something burst.
They use with the gliders.
Frost burst.
Yeah, ice burst stone. I think.
Yeah. So they made a deal with Zeke because Zeke showed them the technology that was used with the gliders, didn't he? And he said, if you go and help out the Paradise Islands, you can probably scan them for their resources.
Yeah, that's actually kind of like
it makes sense now.
Yeah, they gave us more context.
Let it be known that in the notes it is written, quote, "Scam them for their resources."
They are.
I mean, they are.
That's what they're doing.
Well, that is basically what they do. They're essentially giving them the option of help to try and take all their shit, which Zeke kind of snaked out because he basically just explained that crystal only grows in the underground bit where Levi was born. I guess there we go. Now it explains why there's people underground. It's all fucking miners or something.
So we know that there's a specific resource that only Paradise Island has, which is the Ice Burst Stone. And basically, and we know that the Hizuri clan, they're trying to get it and just basically remilitarize their country so they have more power and they have more say, I guess. Because right now, we know that they were on the ropes. That's why when Mikasa, which is later on in the episode, when she talks to Mikasa, you're like, oh, you're like the heir to the throne of the Hizuru nation.
Well, with Mikasa, it was like they were friends with her ancestors were friends with the Fritz, weren't they? When they first went to the island,
they were friends with basically everyone, with the actual island people. So the only friends that the Paradise Island actually had.
And then when the whole shit went down like ages ago, they got left. They explained that Mikasa's ancestors got left on the island.
Mm-hmm.
The royal family,
and that and then. And that's how Mikasa's come to be on the island, and
So she's an Akumi. Plus, she has royal blood.
Means she's not technically Eldian.
Yeah.
She's
so I don't think she can turn into a Titan.
Jesus, bro.
I don't think she'll be. I don't think she'll be able to.
So she's not actually fully Eldian.
Mm-hmm.
She's got part whatever they are. I don't know why like royal thingy blood in her.
But
It doesn't mean anything for Eren. I thought, if it has to be specifically Fritz blood.
But yeah, when the Hizuris come up, they want the Iceberg Stone. But they speak with the people about what they plan to do to help them, because they want to help them with the war, like behind the scenes, in exchange for like mining their resources. And this brings up the thing about Historia again, where they plan to basically use her as like a farm to farm like children that will have royal bloods, and they want to keep the founding titan.
Right, she's a legit factory, just a baby factory.
Yeah, she's just having. They said, "quote have as many children as possible."
Have as many children as possible.
Because obviously they want to like expand the royal blood and have it go down for ages, so that the founding titan
always have the rumbling.
Yeah.
So they always have the rumbling to use.
Bit of a curveball. It was a guy we've never even met, and we saw him once in the entire episode. And
I think that may be Cap, I think it is someone that we know.
But yeah, then she got pregnant to kind of stop being turned into a baby farm before. Because they planned for her to eat.
No. So wait,
he got pregnant to stop being turned into a titan. Specifically a titan shifter.
So basically, because
they said she was going to replace Zeke because
she would replace. I think it's a mix of Zeke's ability and Eren's ability that ends up, causing the rumbling to become full effect.
Yeah.
Because Eren has to control the Titans, but Zeke probably has to do something. He's the royal blood, so her just eating Zeke would have no effect on the ability. Because they're they're related, I guess. I think they're related.
Yeah, I guess they're like cousins or something.
Like distant cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, after they talk about the time of Historia, Eren is not the most happy about what they tried to do to her.
Yeah.
He's not backing that plan. He's not backing that plan.
I think this is part of the reason he kind of went off and did his thing on Marley, where he because they didn't want him to do that's the reason.
The plan was
kind of went rogue. He went rogue.
I think
kind of to go over to Marley.
The plan was to go there. I think the plan was to go there and get Zeke. But I think it was supposed to be a quiet operation. Eren did not allow that to happen.
But Eren rushed it because I think he wanted to protect Historia, and he didn't want them to take their time and end up,
he's trying to make it. He's trying to make it quick, basically.
This is sort of like a personal theory of mine, but I think Eren's just putting a swift one on everyone. I think he's just trying to I don't think he's I think he's working with Zeke, right? But I don't even think he wants the same thing Zeke does. I think he's because obviously, as we know, Eren's the one that actually even though they both need to be in together, Eren's the one that makes the calls. So I feel like Eren's just gonna do his own thing.
Yeah, again, and I think I said this last week. Zeke can't be Eren.
Yeah.
Not in a fight. Not anymore. This guy's. It's basically he has to do what he says. If he wants to do what he wants to do, he has to do what Eren says as well.
Bro, Eren literally flexed his abilities. He was like, Hanji, if I can't, I'm just literally staying here.
Oh yeah,
because I want to.
He's staying there because he wants. He was what's it?
He was literally flexing with her. He had full control of the situation. He literally showed his Titan power
because he want to. Or because he wants them to trust him.
It's like when Superman is in handcuffs. You know for a fact that Superman could just break out of those handcuffs, but it's just
he's just chilling for now. Until he
does it out of respect. Because he doesn't want to violate them by just saying, well, I'll do what you say, but I'm not gonna go there. He could have said that, but he's instead just said fuck it, whatever. We'll do what needs to be done.
But after that, we cut to because Eren grabbed pretty much picks up Hanji with one arm. He's ripped, man.
Yeah,
he's
this guy, he had a glow up and a half, fam.
This guy's 7 foot tall, bro. Heavy.
And then he picks her up with one arm and barely showing any strength and just grabs her.
Also,
man.
I thought those lines come from after, because you know how they get the weird little tendons that connect to their face.
Yeah.
I thought those lines came after that. Apparently, they just fucking manifest on their face because it just. He didn't even turn, and these weird lines started going through his face.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird.
After that, we cut to the. I'm not sure who it is. I think it's what's it called? The is it generals that they're getting drunk and talking about Historia.
Yeah, they were basically saying "fuck Historia."
They're saying how selfish
bitch.
she is. Yeah.
Like,
and she has a baby, so she can't turn into a Titan because it would kill the baby. But then they're like, I think she should do it anyway, even though knowing full well her child would be killed before birth if they turned her into a Titan.
Yeah.
So, but it's fine. Those cunts are getting poisoned by Niccolo
anyway.
I
was about to say Niccolo's definitely poisoning.
Go on. Going for them.
Yeah.
So that's
he's like, try this ball. It's
for me, it does foreshadow the fact that maybe later on in the season, someone might try and forcefully attempt to turn Historia into a Titan while she's pregnant. That's the only thing that
yeah, that's a shout.
The possibility is there. Zeke can just do it as his ability. The guy can just fucking turn people into Titans when he wants. So they don't even really need, even though they said they have the syringes. Yeah, sure, they have the syringes. They don't need it because Zeke can turn people into Titans at will. Also, carrying on just after when Niccolo was backing out the poison, the Kizaru was
some more of like the character bit where they're in the back of the carriage talking to each other about who's going to inherit Eren's Titan.
He's dead in 4 years.
It's quite I think it 4 years they said.
Yeah,
it was 4 years from then.
Yeah, they said some. I can't remember the exact time, but what I remember a lot is the fact that Eren, he still shows compassion. This was like prior to his like sociopathic tendencies, where he still shows compassion for his his friends.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want any of you to inherit.
He says, you guys are important to me more than anyone. Is what he says. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, this comes back later in the episode. But I think is Armin trying to defend.
It's not just that he wants it. He says, I want you all to live long. But I think he knows how fucked it is. It's the same thing with Reiner. Reiner doesn't want Gabby to become the armored Titan because he knows the memories and shit will fuck her up. And he
exactly.
and that's why he says to Falco, you take it. He essentially said to him, I'll help you get it. You take it, but protect her. Eren's probably trying to do the same thing, but he doesn't want his friends to see it because he knows it will fuck them up with all the the memories and stuff that happens, or that comes with it.
Yeah,
that's probably why. Also, they might learn something.
We move from this happy, friendly reunion thing to we go and see Jean and Connie and Armin.
Yeah,
they're all like locked up. They've all been locked up here, like put under arrest pretty much. Like, well, not under arrest, but they've been told stay here. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not allowed because they can't trust because Eren's obviously their closest friend, or is in that very tight circle.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
Exactly.
But obviously, we find out that Jean and Connie are completely now. They talk about how they saw Eren laugh at Sasha's death and how I think they were like, we need to cut Eren. They pretty much say they're gonna like fucking attempt to they're not with him anymore.
Yeah.
And Armin tries to defend him by bringing up
Sen.
Yeah.
Legitimately just had a fucking thought. Why? This goes back to the fucking start of this episode. Eren is looking into a mirror. First of all, talking to himself. Why would he do that? He is creating a contingency plan. If his Titan is transferred to someone else, the memory of him talking to himself in the mirror will come up. He's probably explained his entire plan, start to finish.
All right.
To himself.
Okay, let's explain this. We believe Eren's powers is like memory, like stuff he can send. Because a lot of viewers would just be like,
not even that. So, for context, when a Titan shifter gives their ability away to something, because every 12 years that shifter dies. Was it 13? Something like that. That shifter dies. So in order to continue having that Titan ability around, they have to shift the Titan ability to a new person, which then that 13 years starts again.
Yeah.
This is the reason they train Gabby and they train Falco and they train all the kids was so that they could at one point inherit those abilities. When an ability is inherited, you gain the memory of all past users, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He may be he's creating a contingency plan for his predecessor should he not be able to carry out his plan in time. I think is what the reason he's
actually
in the mirror.
Sort of like what's it with the king's will. As we know, like every royal family member who inherits the founding time basically becomes brainwashed with the king's will, which is do not erase the tyrants, keep them up, and do not fuck with Marley, basically. Hence why all like the race family didn't do anything when the Titans invaded. So yeah, it could be a shout that maybe Aaron's doing the same thing, and technically, because he has the founding Titan, his will might be passed on.
That was me theorizing.
Yeah. Coming to the end of the episode, we then get to the point where Eren, Mikasa, and Armin have a little reunion. Yeah. Like they talk about how they're going. When they don't have a reunion, they talk about how
they say they're gonna have a reunion.
They're gonna go see him. And then we get the thing with the court with like this is my little thing for an arc that's coming up in the future. They talk about how they now have the serum, and they talk about how they're gonna try to like.
Oh yeah,
take Eren's family.
Yeah, Eren's Titan, which is just not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Let's all be honest here. It's never gonna happen. But they're gonna try. So that's probably gonna be
powerful.
So there's we're probably gonna try and fight him, and then he's gonna just break free and go off and do his own thing.
Going back to the start of the episode, right? I think it could be a contingency plan, but I think it's more of like a double entendre where it has two meanings. Where one, it could be just for the plot, and also because he's telling himself, basically, move forward. Obviously, as we know, Eren's since season 1, he's always the type to just keep going, no matter what the outcomes are. And the whole fight probably symbolizes that. She's trying to move forward, and I think it's sort of like, what's the word? I think from where the rumbling happens, he's sort of like saying to himself, do it no matter what. Don't feel bad. Sort of like fight.
But what I'm saying was, what's it? It was they didn't. We didn't hear all of his little speech he said to himself, right? We only really heard him say like one very out of context line, and then him saying fight, and then Hanji walks in.
Yeah.
We don't know, and he was the reason that if he was just doing it, fair, but he was looking at himself in a mirror.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's probably like a double entendre where there's one way is telling himself, and one way is actually like a plot thing. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we want to move on to next episode, latest episode?
Latest
sure.
episode. Episode 1, episode 11. Season 4, episode 11, episode 70, I think is the number.
Well, it starts with Gabby.
You know. Going off the boy Eren to Gabby, this bitch. I hate this child so much. I'm gonna put that. All my homies hate Gabby.
Right? Yeah, it starts off with her.
To be fair, I don't mind her. Like, she is annoying.
I don't mind her.
But
she's kind of so
this god came in genuinely concerned for this child's safety. She nanks him with a brick and a sock.
And then she murders him.
Yeah.
She caves his head in way more than
she caves his head in, and then
he was knocked out. He was knocked out. They could have got out and away.
Yeah.
But she caved his brains in, bro. My boy was dead gone.
Dead gone. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, to be fair, one, it was like sort of like survival, and two, she's is similar to Eren in season 1, where it's like, oh fuck all the time.
She's kind of letting her anger out. This whole episode, she's kind of angry. She's angry at Zeke. She's angry at.
She's angry at everyone. She's angry that Zeke snaked her. She's angry.
She gets proven wrong like pretty quickly, but we'll get onto that later.
Yeah, because they run away, and at first she plans to go back and just pretty much confront Zeke. Which
Falco
talks out. Falco talks out of it. Which
well, not really.
Well, no, she
they go to confront Zeke. Yeah. They go to confront Zeke. That girl definitely overheard them talking, which in the later on in the episode, yep, she told him.
Yeah. Well,
but then they meet that girl. I don't know her name.
Yeah, but prior to that, like whilst Falco and Gabby were arguing, Falco basically advises her, take off your armband, otherwise they're gonna know.
Oh yeah.
And then Gabby like throws a fit and basically sort of like holds it and like sees her pride in it. She even says like, this proves that I'm a good Eldian, in quotation.
I'm better than all of these devils, pretty much. This proves that I'm good. Which
like me and Sen had a conversation about not on video, but we were talking about it. She has pride, or she's trying to hold. Basically, she has the band on saying, you know, like, I am better than all these other people. Except that same band was used to differentiate her against the people who think that they are better than her.
Mm.
So the hierarchy, according to Marley, is Marleyans, honorary Eldians, which are the kids with the red armband, the people with the red armbands, the people who become Titan shifters. They're considered honorary Marleyans. Then you got the child fucking soldiers.
Yeah, soldier candidates or Titan
soldier candidates. Then you got normal, the bulk of Marleyan Eldians. And then at the very bottom, you've got Paradise Island Marleyan Eldians. So she has the armband because she wants to believe that she's better than them because she has the armband, which doesn't make any fucking sense if you think about it, because you're the same people basically. But irregardless, but then you have to think about it in the idea that same armband that she's trying to hold so dear to her heart is basically what points her out to be not as good as Marleyan. And it's very similar to what, going into a more real world topic, the Nazis did with the Jewish people, which this season, I think, unsurprisingly, has very similar parallels to Nazi Germany.
I say.
Now I have to pick up my point. Where were we talking?
So
very similar to Nazi Germany. The armbands where you put on the Jewish individuals to differentiate them, and then, as such, people were discriminated simply by the armband. If they took the armband off, you wouldn't fucking know.
Yeah.
You couldn't say concretely that person is Jewish, that person is not Jewish. Obviously, a few things like the clothes that they wear, etc. But take the armband off, you're basically normal. Well, no, I'm not going to say normal like that. I mean normal as in you look the same as the Nazis.
Yeah. But similar to Gabby, quite a few Jewish people refuse to take off the armband because it's their pride, and this is kind of Gabby in this case. She doesn't want to get rid of the armband. Like, it represents her, like where she comes from.
She wants to be proud of it, but
it's just can be proud of where you're from, but isn't it? It's like it's just been brainwashed into her, where she's like, obviously they learn from a young age. We see it with Grisha, where they're literally being force-fed this information that their ancestors are devils, that they were that they caused this like mayhem and they killed all these people, hence why they deserve hell. Yeah, we see this also in this episode later on.
Not a lot happens so we'll skim through the middle of the episode. It's just a weird, like, Gabby's now Falco's younger sister.
I think we should add a bit more context to that.
It was a character development arc. Right? Gabby and Falco get taken by this girl who knows that they're Marleyan, but she doesn't rat them out.
Yeah.
They get taken to a place where orphan children go.
Basically. Well, it said the farm's like directly links back to Historia. Like I'm assuming Historia's like farmland. Or the race farmland.
What they said was one of Historia's policies is she gives money, like government funding, to institutions that take in orphan children.
Yeah, but I can't remember what happens the next thing there. Oh, the next bit is where Hanji's walking into the court, isn't it?
He's walking in, and we know basically they got leaked the information that Eren was the mastermind behind it all, and that Aaron's being locked up now. So
and then it goes into that guy who was killing people for fun. When she actually walked into the court, it was him and his little fucking Flock and his group of fucking people.
Yeah,
they leaked all the info about Aaron being locked up, even though they told Aaron, or they told everyone that Aaron.
And they are now committing as being loyal to Aaron rather than Hanji, and saying they believe Aaron should lead and that he should be released from prison, which doesn't go down great with Hanji.
The problem is, they think Aaron's backing them. He is not.
Yeah.
I don't think he is anymore. I think he's just.
I think the point is that, so Floch, like last season, he saw Erwin as this like hope. He's now probably has Aaron like as his hope now. That's why he views him as this guy who's he views him as basically the overseer. Oh, Aaron, I'll do anything as you say. Like, because obviously, in season 3, Flock had his whole breakdown. He even admitted that he would this was a mistake. I shouldn't be in here. But obviously, Arwen convinced him otherwise.
Yeah, what I was saying was, it wasn't that girl. What's her name? The blonde one, short hair. Molly.
The one. I've got a name, but she's
blonde girl, short hair.
Yeah, the one that.
Oh, Yelena.
Yelena.
It was Yelena who. It's Yelena who what's it? Has apparently put all these fucking ideas into everyone's head because the commander, Peak, isn't it Peak? What's his name?
No, Peak is a title shifter, bro. I think
Commander his name starts.
Commander Pixis. Do you mean?
Pixis, yeah. My bad. He sits down with Yelena in her fucking cell and basically explains that she was living near Eren. She was living across the street from what's his name? I fucking forgot his name again. The guy.
Pixis?
No, Pixis was explaining that she lived near Eren. He said he lived a couple kilometers away from Eren's house, or wherever Eren was staying, and she lived right next to that guy we was just talking about. His name is very forgettable. Flock. She was living right next to him, and she embedded these ideas, or you can infer that he's saying that she embedded these ideas into their heads, and that's why Eren went a bit off the fucking rails, and that's why this guy is now following Eren to the death.
I don't even think that's true though. I think Eren's I think that's what they think, but I think Eren's basically the mastermind behind it all. I think he's the one pulling the strings.
I think what she did was, because think about it, Eren was single-mindedly devoted to, people, or his people. He wanted to protect the island people. That was his whole thing. But I think what she tried to say, or tried to put into his head, is, bro, you're a Titan shifter. You're better than all these people. Because she said she saw Zeke as a god.
Yeah.
Not as a person. She is. She saw him as a god, and I think she just threw her thingy.
I mean, you gotta remember, other than the Eldians, they are basically they're devils. But as we know, the history, that either referred to as devils or gods. So in Yelena's case, she views the Titans as gods.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. None of the island people viewed. The islanders didn't even know that Titan shift existed until now. Until Eren's basically life. Yeah. Even then, it was only until it was a very select few that knew that Titan shifters existed. But what I'm saying is, she might have made Eren believe, or she may have made Eren take the fucking odd path that he's on now, just through her own, just through worming her way into his head.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then we go back to see Falco and Gabby again with the blonde girl. I don't know her name.
I don't think
yeah,
she takes.
takes.
Oh, yeah, I think we even named her.
The girl that Sasha saved. That's who we'll refer to.
Yeah. She basically tells them, "I know you've been capping this whole time. I know who you are." And then she takes them to
her homeland,
basically her homeland, where she saw her mother get eaten alive, and it turns out she's the girl that Sasha saved with the axe.
Yeah.
And the bow and arrow.
And the bow and arrow. And then Gabby tries to tell her that it's her mother's fault that she was eaten alive.
Basically, what she said was, "It's your mom's fault for existing. Sorry,
that's why you
existed to eat is because she was alive.
You existed.
It was sort of like a really good parallel. Like, I didn't mention this before, but like, it was a good parallel when Eren was talking to Reiner, and then he was like, "Why was my mom eaten?" Except for this time, Reiner was like guilty about it, whereas Gabby was like, "No, it's your fault."
That's actually good.
It's your fault, right? Yeah, but what it was, is basically the same thing they're trying to show. I think is the point of that whole sequence was Gabby is still she's still brainwashed, but she couldn't come up with a concrete idea.
Yeah, exactly.
She couldn't even come up with a flimsy idea of why she deserved it. Falco did, and Falco was guilty. Because Falco saw how Eren talked to Reiner. Falco was there for that conversation, and he said the same way where Reiner said to Eren, "We broke the wall down because we were, we didn't want to go back." Now Falco said it was just reconnaissance. That's why she died. It was a similar thing. And but Gabby's still brainwashed. He started spouting.
You can see like
years ago.
Yeah, you can see like her ideal like slowly cracking, like her like whole perception of the world, similar to like how Eren and them lot like started learning about our other world, and they started learning about started getting more sides. It's the same thing happened to the Gabby lot, Gabby and Falco. Like Falco it was earlier, but Gabby's starting to realize it's not as black and white as she thinks it is. Like
because in her mind initially, Marley good, Paradise bad. That's it.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with Eren, right? Eren, Paradise good, Marley bad. But then you start existing with the people. You start understanding the people, and you realize that okay, is it? Are they bad? Because think about it. The girl's mother, she explained this, right? The girl's mother never killed anyone. She wasn't alive 100 years ago to do whatever they did. She wasn't alive now to be able to attack the Marley. So in that span, this girl's mother has done absolutely nothing wrong, and she died. And that's what Gabby started to realize. She's like, wait, she did die for no reason.
Yeah, like as I mentioned, I didn't mention this in the video, but I mentioned this before, like when I was talking with Gurjin. Her own ideal is flawed because the way she thinks is, oh, you're responsible for your ancestors' sins. However, the same could be applied for Marley attack, that it was a necessary evil because Marley attacked Paradise first. So in her own in her own fault, her own ideal is just broken because you can spin that to any point of view. That okay, well the Marley deserved it because of what they did to the Paradise people.
It happens in, I guess you can say, in the real world. People blame. I mean, I don't want to get into politics, but people blame other people for shit that happened years and years and years ago. But I'm not giving an opinion, but I'm saying, who can you blame them? No, I'm genuinely not. I don't have an opinion on the matter, but I'm saying
it's a real world debate, and
it's a real world debate
in a very clever way.
It's up to you to decide whether or not you believe that.
Yeah.
And it gives a new sense of depth to the series, like that's been continued on, like throughout the thing throughout this whole season, pretty much is the idea that what is right, what is wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And they pretty much leave it to the audience and like decide, pretty much.
The entire, I think the amazing thing about your viewing experience changes depending on your moral compass. Because they're not showing one side of the story like they were with season 1, 2, and 3. They're showing everyone. They're showing everyone's side of the story. They're showing the reasons behind everyone's actions, and it's up to you to decide.
They're showing
who is right in your opinion.
Yeah, they're showing multiple perspectives, and as I mentioned, like ages ago, like whoever it doesn't like right now what's going on, it can date back to ages and ages ago. Whoever like started it, but obviously they don't know. It's just but they just blame each other because that's it's like I can't remember what episode it was, but it's when like Magath was talking to Willie Tiber in the car. He admits that no, Marleyans are devils too. He acknowledges that
they're bad.
Yeah, it's just it's just no one's good, no one's bad in the situation. Like it's just is what it is.
So after their whole conversation in the abandoned village,
that's pretty much the end of the episode, isn't it? Then they cut to the after credit scene.
Yeah. Then after credit scene was.
So
it was in Mali, wasn't it? Where
they were in the Mali, like I think it was the same place they were in episode 2. You got the Eldians, the Mali candidates, and also Magath discussing. Basically, they deduced that Zeke was lying to them because Zeke's the only thing that was found from the explosion was his limbs, not his main body. So they quickly deduced Zeke's still alive, and he was probably what. And also, they noticed that the Eldians had Marley technology, like Marley tech, infused with Eldian tech.
Right. Told you it was a smoke bomb.
Yeah. So basically, they're like, okay, Zeke's the one who's been informing them. Zeke's the one who's been like a double agent all along. And we see all the Eldians basically say through warrior candidates, we gotta attack now. Well, they're sort of like weighing out their options, like, okay, should we attack now? And Magath said we should probably wait till months later so we have the whole world support. But Rhino's rebuttal was, well, Gabby and Falco would die by then, and the rumbling may have already started. So we need to attack now. And
the thing I'm thinking though is, if Zeke, someone who was initially so pro Marley that he ratted out his own dad, right? He snaked his own dad to save his grandparents, who were also technically pro Marley. To go from him to change into someone who's actively helping the Paradise
I reckon we're gonna
now thinking about it, I don't think he was even pro Marley. I think he was just literally just doing it to save his parents, because he basically sort of like in his own twisted mentality was like, my parents are gonna be the end of us. We're gonna all die. I'm sorry, I have to rat them out. It's sort of like.
But the thing was, they didn't know. They didn't have a fucking clue.
Obviously, yeah, they didn't know.
The only reason he got caught was because Zeke snaked them. Because
no, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, Zeke chose his grandparents because he knew basically. I'm assuming Zeke's ideology was at the time, because obviously he was a kid, right? And they were saying, "Oh, get information from Marley." Think about it. The kid's not gonna get information from Marley. Like, they're gonna eventually find out and be like, "Okay, we're gonna kill you, kid," and probably would have resulted like more killings than there were. So I think Zeke realized that and was like, he chose the lesser of two evils, basically.
All the kids are dead, mate, except Falco and Gabby. They're all fucked. There are no warrior candidates left. Gabby,
Falco and Colt are the only warrior candidates left.
Yeah, so what? Falco armor, Gabby flipping cart or jaw.
Yeah.
Who takes the cart titan?
Well, someone. Well, no one, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they already said that she's going to be dead before they have a chance to even train someone for it.
Yeah, that's again in the after credits. That's why they said that was another reason why they're attacking now, because they don't have enough time to get another soldier candidate for them to even pass on the Titan abilities.
Yeah, they're all basically going to be
gone.
So the point is, you know, I think what's going to happen is Eren ends up yoinking it all.
For sure.
And the fact that Falco's older brother, the amount of screen time he's getting is a bit suspicious. My boy might be running on the end of his lines as well.
To be fair, Colt might be like sliced.
Well, here's the thing as well. Colt, even if Colt was thingy, he's not going to get the Beast Titan. Once what's his name? Once Zeke is done and dusted, you've got who?
Historia.
It would either be Historia or Eren.
Someone else.
It wouldn't be Eren, because Eren would be on his last legs as well. But it would be like probably like most likely Historia.
What happens if flipping when you become the founder Titan, when you gather all fucking 8 Dragon Balls and become the founding Titan, you just live forever? Maybe that's what happens.
Maybe, but
that could be possible.
But I don't know. I don't think. I personally don't. I personally
Ymir, the fucking god, couldn't create an entire empire in 13 years.
Yeah. Well, what I personally believe is that I don't think he'll get all the Titan abilities. I think he has enough. Because Forza even said himself that he has the Warhammer. Like, what am I gonna do? He doesn't. I think it's like sort of like if he were to get any more, it'd just be more of a safe thing, of instead of I need these Titan abilities. Or maybe there is like you said, like if all Titan abilities come together, he basically becomes God, which is sort of like true, because they said Ymir, who had all the Titan abilities, were like she was like omnipotent or something. She was like she had insane powers. But
going back to Norse mythology, Ymir is the god, is an actual god.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think personally what will happen is I think Eren's just gonna go with Zeke. They're gonna do like a bro fist or like a they touch each other. Like
what is it? Like, the diffusion dance, bro.
Yeah, literally, they literally just like bro some like you're my bro. Yeah, well he's gonna come into contact with Zeke, and then obviously I personally believe just the rumbling would happen. And I don't think any Titan ability would stop that, no matter what.
Yeah, cool.
Carrying on. Outro.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the end of the episode. 2 episodes in one for this episode. It was a very long episode.
Let's go.
Comments are still off, so fuck you.
So you don't get an opinion, but like the video.
You don't get an opinion, but again, this time I'm going to do it the other way around, because YouTube will fuck me if I get dislikes. Like the video if you want me to turn the comments off.
Any like goal, mate, or just like
nah, just nah.